Here at Moble Minds, we're changing the education and workforce development in California. Our mobile trailers are thinking a new, unique way of learning. By taking the electrician directly to school, we're not just hoping to spark new interest in future electrician careers, but also helping communities that have a shortage of electricians. Hi, I'm Omar, I'm the CEO and CFO here at Moble Minds.
I'm Julio, I'm the CMO.
I'm Armando, I'm the CTO.
I'm Fernando, the secretary.
The problem, according to the National Electrician Contractor Association, for every 7,000 new electricians that join, 10,000 of them retire, and this growing demand for electricians is expected to grow by 9% by the year 2030.
Our goals. We want to rent or sell 5 trailers by our first year, get 100 clicks on our landing page, and making children more interested in being an electrician.
Our customer segment. This is Mark. He's a 48-year-old retired electrician, and he recognizes demand and shortage of electricians here in California. He wants to help solve this problem by teaching them, but doesn't have a way to reach out.
So for our landing page, what we plan to have is right here a short video about us, our mission, and right here is where you can put your information like your name, your email, and your zip code, and which will take you to a thank you page.
Our customer relationship. We'll be getting our customers by our ad and sparking interest through our video. We'll be keeping our customers by sending them monthly emails and updating them how our trailers are going and where we're going to be located. We'll be growing by posting more on social media and advertising.
For our solution, so what we want to do here at Moble Minds for our solution is create these mobile trailers. Right here we have an example. And for an example, we would plan, instead of using a generator to power it that throws gases into the environment, we would rather have solar panels. And then right here we have a model of the inside, and we've just planned on having desks to be able to show some hands-on experiences. And for our curriculum, what we want to do is partner up with either retired electricians or just any electrician, and we want to help connect them or sell trailers to them and help them connect to the local schools in order to them to teach kids how to, or spark interest on how to be an electrician.
Our market size. In the United States, our potential market size will be approximately 11 billion. And in California, our potential market size will be 101 million. And in Fresno, our potential market size will be around 2 million with a conversion rate of 2%. Our startup costs will be approximately $520,000. Most of the money will be in developing the trailer. Our cycle ties, such as tires, actually making the trailer, put the electricity in there. Our second is law, kind of having it in the law, so not sewing it's okay with the law and kind of following the steps of the law. And tools. Our tools of the electrician will all whatever they would need, and that's 6% of the startup cost. Our SA&G, $444,000. Most of it would be salary, paying the labor of actually kind of keeping the maintenance in the trailer. Second would be insurance, having insurance on the trailer, so if anything goes wrong, we have coverage. And marketing our trailer, that would be 22%. Our revenue, as you see here, our first year revenue would be approximately 2 million in revenue. Year 2, we have around 2.6 million. In year 3, we're trying to hit 3.4 million. These are our socials if you want to contact us. And this QR code will take you to our landing page and join us in sparking a new generation of electricians. Thank you.
Yes. So your initial investment was what, 500,000?
520,000.
So what's your return on investment? How long is it going to take you to make that return on investment?
Well, return on investment on our first market is just an assumption, so 2 million. So we're hoping to make that in 1 year, but we're not really sure.
Could you go back to that slide? What slide she's talking about?
This one?
Good question. How do your clients pay you? Like, what are they paying for? And
so they're paying us. We're actually renting our trailers to them. So the electrician will pay us around $850 to rent our trailer for a month, and we'll apply them with a curriculum and tools, and we'll have connections to school. to hopefully get them inside teaching your kids.
As an electrician, he's making money off of training them, so then he has extra money to feed your client and rent your trailer. Is that what you're saying?
Repeat that, please.
The person who's renting the trailer from to provide teaching services or apprenticeship program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy an educator or is he a tradesman?
We're hoping to find educated or knowledgeable electricians to actually teach these kids. We had an ad up here teaching that electricians are getting tired, they're aching, their body aches. For instance, for every 10 electricians in California, 5 of them have arthritis. And we're trying to help them by giving them constant growth of income by having them use their knowledge to teach these kids.
Yes, the bridge is a very important gap. You know, our knowledge base is going off into the sunset, and it's not transferring to our younger generation. So it definitely meets a need. I see some holes in it that you need to address and consider. One is not every tradesman is a good educator or teacher. Some can't even speak very well about what they're doing. So that kind of person teaches better doing work.
Yeah.
With them working right beside them. That's called kinesthetic learning. Instead of audio, visual. Kinesthetic is full touching, feeling, seeing, sensing, everything's going, even fear, getting shocked, it's all there. I would consider in your curriculum having in-class time, so lab, and out in the field and lecture in the classroom. Lab, out in the field and lecture in the classroom. If you got a mock-up stuff to have them do, fine. But I'm a general contractor, and I would consider, I'm already toying with the idea of a nonprofit that does apprenticeship schools. And the way I'm doing it is planning to have my contracts of my subs. My electrician, if he wants my job, he has to sign in the contract that I can put somebody right next to him and hand him tools, watch. He has to talk about what he's doing if he wants that job. Okay. So that's the way they're going to get trained. We're going to solve the same problem. Right. I'm going from a totally different direction because we're in the field doing it. But this trailer idea is good. I think that $400,000 a year to maintenance a trailer that once it's built should be operable and doesn't need maintenance. So really, your staff, if they're not teaching, I would use that money to get some teachers in there.
Yeah. So we also put in consideration our SAG, actually the warehouse where these trailers will be held. And we didn't want to buy a warehouse because that's too much, so we considered renting a warehouse, and that's what also goes into our SAJ. So.
Tell me what the SAG means.
SAG is it's the overtime, so monthly wage you're paying.
No, this acronym SAG. We're not all told what your software is.
Oh,
can you say? Sales general administrative costs. Okay. Ongoing. Okay, got it. Yeah.
I have a quick question about your revenue model. You had mentioned that like the heart of your revenue model is in getting electricians to rent your trailers for $850 a month. I don't know what the math is exactly in my head, but I definitely know that it doesn't equal like $2 million in revenue for the first year. So how would you be meeting that revenue goal if it's not through the trailer rental figure that you had mentioned?
We also bring consideration into selling our trailer, but we stay with the renting because it is more understandable and it's more conservative for the amount. And because if we're putting into selling our trailer, that'll be around 95 to 100K buying the actual trailer and keeping it, the connection and stuff. And I feel like it'll be too much. So that's what we got the $2 million from. And so we're just trying to change.
I guess my feedback there is that the numbers don't quite add up to 2 million.
It's 196 trailers is how many we would have to make that. 196 trailers deployed fully and not missing a month. So that needs some thought. Drill down on that to figure out how you're really going to do it. Sometimes, and I never want to crush any of your entrepreneurial spirit, sometimes, Mr. Mason, please forgive me, you work so hard to make the software and the curriculum that you're working on fit all the numbers for your presentation. Somewhere in there, you start to lose the entrepreneurial idea you started with and how you're going to provide that. And you get into the presentation more than the business model. Yeah. This is a case that's teetering on the edge of that, in my opinion. I'd be glad to help you with idea with that.
I have a question on your target customer. So, essentially, Mark, the 48-year-old retired electrician, right? So he's going to be incentivized how to go and teach his trade, and he has to rent this trailer. So how is he going to potentially make money? Well, are you guys offering that service where it's like, okay, you're going to be hired on as a teacher, and you're going to train these group of students, or we're going to rent you out this trailer, and you're going to have to pay us money? Why would I want to come out of my retirement and go and get into a business that I have to pay for to try to make more money? So it's like my customer segment is kind of off for me with your business model. I see the need. There's definitely a need for electricians, plumbers, welders. But why not target that younger crowd? I mean, where it's like, okay, we have a business model for you already. We have the subject matter expert that's going to train you. Whatever they're collecting from that, whatever you guys are collecting is going to be, you guys are going to be able to pay Mark, the 48-year-old, to train these students. The people who are interested in this type of electrician type field, right? Because at the end of the day, how much longer are we going to have Mark, right? We want to train the younger generation, but I have to go and pay to train them. Why aren't they going to pay me to train them? Do you get what I'm saying? Absolutely. So that's why, like, my customer segment part is kind of off on that. I don't know, maybe somebody else thinks differently.
I'd like to give Tape 2 a chance to talk. Sorry,
right?
Over here.
I would truly appreciate that. But, first of all, I think it's a great idea, right? You guys identified a gap, and I think in the workforce that's huge, right? It's a huge talent gap in numerous industries. Right? What I'm hearing what you guys are trying is to get many young people kind of interested in a career, but not really trained. You understand that, right? Yeah. Okay. So then I would think about, instead of charging for the trailers, I'm calling here calculates $51,000 for all your 5 trailers per year, right? So there's a gap to the $400,000 that you said in revenue, right? So maybe think about, okay, what might be a different way of charging people for the service that you provide, right? So let's say if a high school has several thousand students, and you say every student is going to have an experience in that trailer, right? Maybe you could charge per student and figure out if that could be a better revenue model for you guys. But that would be maybe one idea to make the math work with it. Okay. But I had a question as far as in your team. How do you guys feel like working as a team together to prepare this project so far?
Like how we worked in a team.
Yes.
Well, the way we came up with this business, I'm in a family of electricians. And my dad has, I think, around 7 to 8 co-workers working with him. And sometimes it comes down to 2 workers. And in electricity, it's hard to be up there and someone calling down here. And we need multiple hands. And we were researching the shortage of electricians. And there's a huge shortage in California, especially going green and electricity and electric cars. There's not enough electricians to support that demand. And we try to solve that. And, I've seen my dad, he comes out with his hands stuck. And it's hard to see that without any help, So I try to solve that problem and hopefully help the future of electricians.
That's good. And then were you able to convince the rest of the team that this is a worthwhile endeavor?
Yeah, actually, he makes trailers.
Yeah.
So we got kind of put our thing together and kind of came up with it.
I think what we're kind of all struggling with is the revenue part, and I think you're trying to create a franchise model. And echoing what Christian said, you need to come up with an approach where you become like a vendor for a school, and then you go in, you say, hey, it's going to cost X amount of dollars for all your students to visit our trailer and get a little glimpse into the electrical trades like industry, right? And then that is where I see the revenue generated. That's just my personal opinion. You disagree, other judges disagree, but that's how I see you getting this flow of, you can go to city colleges, high schools, elementary schools. That's quite a bit of income if you work out the numbers with that many students. So that's where I see, instead of, because then the electrician, like you said, it still has to go out and pitch this to someone to come to their workshop. They have another sales job. They have to become a salesperson to then get people to come in and actually listen to them. That's where I see the problem here. But I'll let someone else. But presentation was it's improved since the last time.
I remember the first time. I remember you guys did this before. You've done a really good job. Things I really like about it, you guys did really good. I'm always impressed by how you guys talk and being a lot better in front of people. So good job. You guys are all wearing black shirts. You guys have uniforms. So good job. If you got haircuts, I can see. Yeah, looking good. I like it. Presentation is good. I mean, you guys chose good coloring. It's appealing. So good job with that. And I know you're learning numbers. You're just learning. So, there's definitely work. We always need to, that's what this class is for. Just a few things that I looked at. One was the name of the company. You might want to consider adding something for electrician in it. So when I know what I'm looking at it, I know what I'm getting. Just might be something to look at. I know I see the mine and I see the lightning bolt. A lot of times, though, we're called Summer Fox Brewing Company. So when I have Farmers of It's an insurance agency, and then at one point we had Rocket Dog where we brought to brew. So you kind of know what you're going into, right? Unless you're like Target, and you're spending multi-million dollars branding what you are. So remember, you're trying to capture the idea of someone seeing it and be like, oh, this is what it is. Now we look into it. So just for consideration, it might just be Moble Minds and have electrician at the bottom. I have no idea.
This is where our company name. For the actual product name would be called Wired Wheels, and that's what we're going for.
Called what?
Wired Wheels.
So that'd be really cool to add to this presentation.
Yeah. It was still kind of a working process of the name, and so Moble Minds would be a company just in case we ever want to move a trailer for plumbing or a trailer for a different trade.
So we call them DBAs. So you'll have a mothership, and then you have DBAs underneath it.
Doing business as.
Yes. Thank you. Doing business as, we call that DBAs. Cost of goods versus incoming revenue. That problem can be solved. You always want to work your way backwards. So, how do we charge for the cost of a beer? Well, we know what it costs to make the beer. We know what the grain costs, what the yeast costs. We know how much the water intake. We know what the employees cost. We know what it costs to be able to put it into a keg. We know the space it's in. We know the refrigeration, the PG&E, the solar. We know the internet that it takes, the overall goods of where we're making the beer. And then we know that we're going to have an employee touch it. So then we also know we have food costs in the back end. So we know all of our costs. And then from there, you're able to create what your fees are. And it almost looks like you guys did it the inverted way, which is very common. A lot of people will put a number out and then try to fit their business model underneath it. And it doesn't work like that. You start from the cost of goods, which your family would know. And you go to the labor, which your family would know. And you're able then to go and figure out what your return on investment is. Because that's not a return on investment, that's just an idea you shared with us. Because there's no magical way to ever get there unless you're going to invest in 50 units out the gate. And that's pretty massive scale. So just consider that. The notes I'm leaving with you is find 5 different ways to be able to make money off these. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I got a tool to fall off. We'll look at 130 for the next one, I evaluated a trailer manufacturing business for a potential purchase in Bakersfield. This was last year. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity unmet. There's a vacuum for good trailer manufacturing right now. Sometimes when you have a business idea and you're trying to put something together, as it is, your dad's an electrician, you see his cramping hands and probably carpal tunnel and things like that, you're looking at that, and this man, his family makes trailers. You try to marry the two and solve two things, and sometimes you lose your best avenue because you try to incorporate more. I would say incorporate as much as you can, and some business models take on 5 different initiatives, and they all work, and it dovetails. In my opinion, this one doesn't dovetail. So the next thing I would say, and I've said it here before, you have to be when I used to say kill an idea that's not a good idea and go with another, but I don't want to be so brutal to say that. So I'm going to say, picture a vineyard. Every year after the vines have produced their grapes and it goes into the dormant season, they come from prune and they cut all the way back to the very nearest bud from the stalk. And so the stalk of the vine stays. And it's so anyway, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why you would cut something that just produced, but it actually puts out something better. Brock's Trailers, look it up, Brock's Trailers, started on a dirt lot. They're slaying it, building all kinds of stuff custom right now, and they can't keep up with the demand. They're making gardener's trailers. You'll never see a uniform gardener's trailer in all of Fresno, all these gardeners everywhere. John, this one's got the downside, the ramp, this one's on the side, this one's on the back, this one's got plywood. There's so many custom applications you could do for trailers. I would say, and we have a huge company out of Fresno called Celsi Enterprises Incorporated. Celsi they have like 850 employees doing custom bodies and beds for trucks, work trucks. So you're in Ag Valley, you're onto something. I think you should toy more with manufacturing the trailers. Hold this idea for this electrical thing. I know it changes your whole model. I'm sorry, I don't see, and I can't grant you, a generous pass to say I see something here with the way you would go about this, and I have to be honest with you. So, but I'd be willing to talk to you more about ideas and how you could make a revenue-generating business that's profitable.
I think it's just going back to the drawing board and really doing that feasibility study where it's thorough to really understand who because here I don't see a clear picture of who your target customer is. And that's where, again, if you don't have a customer, you don't have sales, you don't have a business. So, but overall, good job, guys.
Thank you.
Good job.